you didn't come maybe the first mention or something, is it going to be forfeited to the state? And if it's, for example, if you didn't come and what is actually happening and you are unable to afford a lawyer, the state should provide you with a lawyer. And at all instances, it provides a lawyer. And
maybe sometimes people might wonder, do you ever have any rights? Are you supposed to be told why that is happening, or do... Podcast. My name is Beverly Mokaya and I'm here with
Aquila Mokaya. In this podcast, we discuss matters law.
From talking about commercial law to criminal law to civil litigation to taxes, contracts, we've got you covered.
Remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below.
So today, yet again, we have a guest.
Hi, my name is Deborah Mawea. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I practice in Nairobi at the moment. I have specialized in civil litigation, criminal litigation, commercial transactions. I'm basically a litigation advocate. I'm looking forward to gaining knowledge and sharing the information that I have with you guys.
Yeah, so on this episode, we want to talk about rights. We're going to do a series of human rights because in this era that we are in, it's very important for you as a Kenyan, or you as a Kenyan, because our basis is the Constitution of Kenya, to understand the rights that are available for you in the Constitution. So in this specific episode, we will talk about the rights of arrested persons, and we'll talk about the rights of accused persons. They are almost related because once you're arrested, then you can become an accused person, and then you continue the system of the courts. Yeah, so of course, people are arrested left, right, and center. You will be bundled up into Mariamus, and you ever maybe sometimes people might wonder, do you ever have any rights? Are you supposed to be told why that is happening, or do police have all the power in the world and they cannot be checked? Yeah. So what are some of the rights of arrested persons? We don't need to define an arrested person because it's a common concept, and even if you walk out, not here, but somewhere,
you can be arrested. You can be taken, and now that's being arrested.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. So some of the rights.
Yeah. So I'd like to say that some of the rights that you have as an arrested person. One right that many Kenyans take for granted is that you have the right to remain silent. Our normal reaction as human beings, once we are arrested, is to start talking, is to start threatening the police officer, telling them that you don't know my lawyer, telling them that you don't know who I am. That is very unnecessary. The law says that you have the right to remain silent, and the reason is anything that you say
can be
used as evidence against you in a court of law. Perhaps you said very incriminating stuff, yeah? So it is good for an arrested person to remain silent. Yeah.
And sometimes the police would want to bully you into saying something. For example, confess, because this happens. They are bullies, sadly. So it's just because they're in uniform, and you would feel intimidated sometimes, especially if you don't know your rights. And it's not a guarantee that if you know them, they will, comply, but you might be in a better position if you know. You know your rights. So you don't have to confess to anything. As you confess to Tutakwatilia, forget it.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Also, it's important to note that as an arrested person, you have the right to all the rights provided for in the Bill of Rights. But your rights are limited to the right to liberty at this point. Every other right to life,
freedom from torture.
Yeah, from torture. Like you're still a human being.
Have all the rights apart from the right to liberty at this point. So you will just be how is it called? Constrained in an area. Yeah, or restrained in an area, yes.
Also, you have the right to be informed
Of the
why
arrest.
you're being arrested. You're not just supposed to be bundled up and, gear up or to whatever. No, you have to be told you're under arrest. I'm sure you guys watch a lot of movies, so you're under arrest for this and that.
In a language that you understand.
In a language that you understand, either in Swahili or in English.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if they do it in vernacular. Maybe
But they should. They should. If you don't know, for example,
if a social
yeah,
is arrested,
they should tell you why in your mother tongue that you understand. Yeah.
Yeah, so Nabiwa, you have been arrested, you're under arrest for this and that. You have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say
Will
can
be
be
used.
used against you in a court of law. So you have to be told why. You just don't put those, caps on you.
And then you go why you're being arrested.
Yeah.
Also, it's actually very important to note that as an arrested person, you have a right to be produced in court within 24 hours. So, but now these 24 hours would work between maybe Monday to Friday because courts don't work over the weekend. So how do you count the 24 hours if it's a weekend? If I'm arrested on Friday, maybe at 4, means that my Monday 4 p.m. I should have been arraigned in court. And if I'm not arraigned in court, then that is a violation of my rights now, which ideally means that they have detained me from being arraigned in court. 24 hours principle, yes.
So if it's beyond the 24 hours and you can't find them, I'm sure because of what you guys are watching right now, you've heard a lot of things about habeas corpus. So you have a right to be produced in court, whether dead or
alive. Yes.
So if the 24 hours have passed and you people cannot get you, you can do
make an application in court
and say that this person has to be produced within this time, either dead or
alive. Yes.
Also, as an arrested person, you need to know that you have your advocate. That as much as you are under arrest, and they try to snatch off your phone, just let them know that I just want to talk to my advocate, because the law provides for that particular. You could make a call to your advocate because it is important so that you get the legal representation.
That also they can come maybe help you negotiate for cash bail at the police station. Refer to our previous video. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically those are the rights of arrested persons. They're short
and provided for under Article 49, by the way, of the Constitution. Yes.
Maybe you guys should have
that's
now
a small
that you
thing.
don't have a book, the Constitution, the small one, it's just like a pocket. You know those pocket Bibles that you have. You can either have that or be referring to it. It's good for you to know your rights. Yeah,
just download it. It's downloadable, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, before we
round up on that.
Also, as an arrested person, you're not supposed to be detained with people who are already convicted.
Oh yeah. Oops.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Because
it should be remanded.
You are not guilty. So it's important that you are kept separate from these people who are convicted.
That's why they say you're in remand, and then the others are in prison. But remand and prison are in the same place. If you are going to Inda, for example, it's in the same place. But you should be put in remand, and then the others are put in prison. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the rights that you have as an arrested person. Yeah, we're still hoping that our democracy, will develop.
Yeah, will be progressive.
Yes, exactly. So that these rights become, of course, they're a reality to the majority, but we're just hoping that
becomes a reality to every one of us.
Exactly. So now, next, we're going to talk about the rights of accused persons. It's also very important because once you're arrested, then what? Once you're arrested and taken to court, let's say, for example, you're a murderer.
Yeah.
Or we talk about, let's say you have defiled a child. Oh no, you have allegedly defiled a child because you're supposed to be presumed innocent and guilty. So now you've been arraigned in court. What are your rights?
First
as an accused now.
I'd say that as an accused person, you are entitled to having an interpreter in court.
Yeah.
Say this is a case happening somewhere called maybe Sabwat or just anywhere in Kenya, and this accused person might be illiterate. So there is no way they will understand the charges being read if they are read in English. So the law says that it is necessary for this accused person to have an interpreter. so that they actually understand what they are being charged with and what is actually happening and proceeding in the court. Yeah.
Also, on that note, it's also very important to note that an accused person should be read out to the charges. So we said like in the language that they understand, of course, as an interpreter, but now the details. That's why when you go to court, they say on 8th, in so and so place, you did so and so and so. Like they would give a sort of quote unquote narration of what you did. So like you have a right to have this the charge narrated to you. So even if we said you are innocent until proven guilty, even if you are, let's say, guilty, like you did it, for example, they need to read it out to you first for you to plead guilty or not guilty.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're presumed innocent, number one. So everything that the court will always be pro-accused. The court is always pro-accused, pro the accused person, yeah? So if they're to give a judgment, mostly rulings, like a decision, it will mostly favor the accused, yeah? So presumed innocent. You said you have to be told what you've done. For example, if
In
you
detail.
charged, the charge is a murder charge, and then explained to these are the facts. On this and this date, you went this way and you used a knife or you used
You stabbed
an
them
axe.
here.
You stabbed them at the 7 times the stomach or things like that. Yeah. So in a language that you understand, so you get it that mostly maybe it's the court assistant that will read it to you in English or
Swahili
Swahili.
or mother tongue, whichever. And then
But the
also,
prosecutor will read it to you, and then the court assistant will translate it to you. Yes.
but say for example, the court assistant is not a lawyer or not a Kisi.
Yes.
Now they can bring in a Kisi person to come and translate for me in this case. Also, you have the right to appeal. There's this famous judge who always says, the moment you start complaining, she just says you have the right to appeal. Like she always says, that's the first thing she says. She's like, no, you can always appeal. So you have the right to appeal. Nobody can stop you from appealing up to the highest court, that is the Supreme Court. Yes.
So another right that an accused person has, the accused person has a right to be supplied with any evidence that the prosecution will rely on. It would be unfair if the prosecution presents or files documents in court that the accused person is not aware of. That would be a real infringement on their rights. And that is why once plea is taken and the matter is about to go for hearing, the accused person is supplied with statements, and the magistrate always asks
If you got them,
yes,
if you got the statements,
yeah,
Did you get the statements?
yes,
no,
And then the court
they have
assistant
to
will
give.
be like, umepata statements?
yes,
So yeah, part of statements. So you actually need to get the statement so that it can help you with defense. Again, you need to be given sufficient time to prepare now for the defense. Now, if for example you came for plea taking, and then we have done a mention maybe for pre-trial, and then we have said now all the witnesses have brought their witness statements to court. Now they have been filed. We have said you have the right to receive all the documents and every evidence that's going to be relied on in court. You're supposed to receive it. Not in prison, in the remand. There are normally like legal assistants there. Those like the prisoners who have now done law and things like those, they are always able to help. So, for example, you have already been given the documents. You need to be given sufficient time to come up with a defense for yourself if you cannot afford a lawyer. Again, on that lawyer trail, if you have committed a capital offense and you are unable, like murder, sexual offenses, terrorism, those ones. If you have committed such type of offenses and you are unable to afford a lawyer, the state should provide you with a lawyer. And at all instances, it provides a lawyer and pays the lawyer for you. Yes.
And in the event that for some of these cases, like let's say assaults, the easy ones, or how they call the misdemeanors. Misdemeanors are just
To
petty
small
offenses
things.
that you probably get 3 years or less in imprisonment. You didn't have an advocate when you were starting. If midway you get an advocate, the advocate can always ask that the previous witnesses that were there
Be recalled.
yes, so that they can be cross-examined or examined as the case continues. So you have a right to be represented by an advocate.
You also have a right to bail and bond at any time before conviction.
Yes.
That's actually the Supreme Court decision that stated that if, for example, you are unable to raise bail at the beginning and you're already at the hearing stage, you can always make an application to say, oh, now I have the money, I can have the case done from outside. So you always have the right to, from home, you always have the right to bail and bond at any time before conviction.
And by the way, this is something that I think we didn't mention the last time we were talking about bail and bond.
Yeah.
Once the process is done, you
They
get
should
back
refund,
your money.
yeah.
Yes, you go. It's a long process. You just go to the registry and people will explain to you that, or your advocate will tell you how to do it. But you're supposed to get back the money that you deposited in the court or the
Title deed,
security
the
that
book.
you deposited
Yes.
in the court.
And I know someone would ask, do I only get the money if I'm proven innocent, or can I get the money even when I'm guilty?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can. Because the purpose of bail and bond is that you attend court. You finished, you already attended court, so your trial is over, your people will get the money.
Yeah, and even if, for example, your conviction was for fine, for example,
Yes.
and maybe fine and or imprisonment, you can use that money that they had paid initially for you to top up and
Your
get
fine.
the fine paid, then you go home.
Yeah. An accused person also has the right to remain silent. You know, after the case is over, they bring the case against you, you're supposed to give a defense. Your defense can be silence. And that silence is not supposed to be interpreted in a way that
Makes you guilty.
makes you guilty. Yes. So you can either be silent, you can either give a sworn statement. Sworn statement is under oath, or an unsworn statement. So that's just on the entire process of it. Yeah.
Also, as you, for example, as we said earlier, that you have the right to appeal and maybe apply for a review if you do not, if the judgment was not to your favor and you feel like it should be to your favor, you have the right to receive a copy of the proceedings promptly. So, see, for example, when you are applying for an appeal, for example, you must have a copy of the proceedings of how the matter started, what the witnesses said. Like, it's just a photocopy of everything, but of course, it's at a fee. So the Constitution provides that, of course, you have the right to get those documents, a copy of certified proceedings, but it's at a prescribed fee. So it's not like stated the total amount of money that you should pay. But the point here is that you have a right to receive a copy of the proceedings of court.
Yeah. I'd also say that an accused person has the right to have a public trial. Yeah.
That's a very good one. It's a very important one. Because of a case that I attended. So it's supposed to be a public trial, meaning even the media is allowed in.
Yeah.
They can bring in cameras. That's why you on
And
TV,
record.
You usually see people recording, and you can see how the proceedings went. And even you, as the public, member of the public, you can attend court just to observe,
Just to attend, yeah.
unless it's a sexual offense or it's
a divorce, a children matter,
a sensitive matter that involves victims who need to be protected.
Yes.
You are allowed to attend court, and the media is allowed in. Yes.
As long as they get the passes.
To like get in, yeah. That's
And I think
interesting.
the other one is you're not you have the right not to give self-incriminating evidence. In movies, you guys have had things like I plead the fifth, in the states. So here it's also allowed. You're not allowed to. You don't have to give self-incriminating evidence against you.
Wow, that's actually interesting. We hope that you have learned.
Yeah.
That's been it was very important for you guys to understand if you're accused, because don't say it will never happen to you. I hope it never happens to you, but
But
if
if you
it
can,
does, or it happens to someone that you love,
or you know.
you will know what to do, or your lawyer will know what to do, but at least you'll have an idea. So thank you for watching. If you go to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe.
Leave a comment down below, and you can also raise questions on what you'd want us to discuss next.
Yeah. Thank you, and see you next time.
Bye.